Get some of the volume down there so you guys can hear me. See how everything sounds. Hopefully everything sounds nice. Sounds pretty good. Does to me? Does it to you? Trying to get everything balanced. Notice that the left was just a smidge louder than the right. So if you're listening to this with stereo headphones, might have been able to hear me a little bit better in the left ear. All right, let's go ahead and fade these musics all the way down. There we go. Okay, so it sounds all right to me. I hope it sounds good to you guys. Hit the wrong button there. So there's actually a pass-through where I can see if I can hear this. Let's knock that down a bit. Yeah, there's actually a pass-through where I can pass the game audio that I get to hear through to you guys, and that always comes out too loud. Okay. So I was actually doing some testing. Let me get it over to the main feature. We'll take a peek at this real quick. And we'll turn it over so you guys can see. There we go. See if it balances all right with the game audio. See how it sounds. Maybe a little bit too aggressive on that side chain. So let's let me see if let's turn that down to maybe 8. And let me try something else really quickly. There we go. Maybe I'll sound a little bit more natural this way. There we go. That sounds a lot better to me. Let me pop this back up here. Ash says, hey all. Hey Ash, how you doing? So sorry it's been so long for everybody who's been there for a bit. We have been on the go, but it's been great. Scoot those back just a minute. So I have actually been weekend before last, we were celebrating our anniversary. Anna and I were, so we were traveling, and then last weekend we had a lot that we had to catch up on from that. And this weekend, it has been absolutely ridiculous in terms of the just sheer amount of work. Audio is clear, but we can still have the cocaine snorting. Maybe turn it down so people don't hear that. I was noticing that you can hear a lot of my, if you're listening with like headphones in, you can actually hear a lot of my breathing, which I'm not keen on. There are breath control options, but it's really hard to do them live because there ends up being a delay. Can you hear me breathing a ton in there though, or this, that kind of thing? Let's put it back, maybe a smidge. All right, see if this is a little bit better for breath control. Let's see if this works real quick. I'll scoot the mic back a little bit. Maybe the breathing won't be so aggressive. I think that sounds all right. It does to me. I waited up until 4 in the morning yesterday. It caused me to be fired from my job today, and my girlfriend left me and took the dog and PS5. It's okay, though, I guess. Oh, man. Surely not. Surely that's not the case. Come on. I hope not, though. But I am truly sorry for any inconvenience that my absences have caused. I know that there have been people that are like, hey, you didn't stream anymore or whatever. Can you stop breathing down my neck, please? I usually have to pay for stuff like this, and it's not cheap. I had the mic, so I switched microphones over to my Neumann TLM 103. I was using the AKG C214. And it's just such a sensitive microphone. When voice actors do their thing, they have to turn, they're supposed to turn, or singers even, they have to turn away from the microphone to breathe into the, and then there are actually, like I said, breath control stuff in there. So I'm sorry if it does sound like I'm breathing in your ear. So I guess I want to go ahead and say this looks potentially like the eye catch is very off to somebody who's played this a ton of times. But if you are somebody who is, that doesn't seem at all fair. That didn't seem at all fair. If you take a peek at, I'm assuming that this is an eye catcher. It's different. When you talk about microphones, it's like someone at NASA trying to teach some. It's really so. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but they're both. I love microphones, and they're both really, really good microphones. When you look at microphones, Neumann, which is a German brand, is kind of the most notorious brand out there for their quality, their overall quality, I guess. And AKG is right with them, and I like to use those two brands predominantly, so it's just kind of been back and forth. But it's not. I don't mean to talk like I don't mean to accidentally make it complicated, but it's. If you get a chance, so take a look at the microphones. I mean, they're really, really. If you're interested in way overkill audio for your channels, take a look at those microphones. They're really, really good, but it's way overkill. It's not necessary. USB mics now are just about as good. So my microphone is a T800, really advanced tech. Fun, but. It's funny you say that too. So fun fact on that. Speaking of British audio, they do make a really freaking good affordable microphone. If you want to stay, I don't like to look at the nationality of it as much as I like to look at the quality of the mic itself. But it is fun sometimes, and I do know people that like to say, "Well, I'm English, and so I want to stay with a British mic," or I'm German, so I prefer to stay with a German mic, and so you have or German style mics. You have like Neumann and Austrian Audio for the latter. For the former, you actually have one though called Aston, and they make one. The Aston microphones, I can't remember what the specific models are called right now. I'm not, just off the top of my head, I can't think of them. But Aston Audio, they make really good microphones. You can buy them for I want to take a look real quick because that's really good. We're great at building things and taking land, but that's about it after 20. Oh, you know what? So are we. We've learned from our fathers, so to speak. I gotta take a look at this real quick because I don't want. Sonic, and I was looking up the how to make these ROM hacks work, and they brought that right back up. So let's see. So there's the Aston Origin and the Aston Spirit, and then there's the Aston Element, and all of them are actually really, really freaking good microphones. but I think it's the Element that was really interesting. It's not a pretty microphone. It doesn't have a great amount of presence on camera. Like it looks really boring, but it actually sounds really good. Yep, Aston Element, and you can get it for, on average, it looks like you can get it for about $129.99, or you can actually get it pre-owned through music stores for as little as like $75, which is really freaking good. Yeah, that's really nice. And it comes with a pop filter. We're officially 4 days away from Street Fighter. I know. It seems like this year's gone by too quickly, but there are things worth looking towards, because we've got all of these great games coming out this year. This is the first year since probably 2011 that I think I've been excited for for releases throughout the entirety of the year. We've got all of the major fighting titles coming out with new iterations. We've got let's see, we've got all of the major fighting titles coming out with new iterations. We've got Spider-Man 2, which just had the gameplay released there, the official gameplay released, which is pretty exciting there. We've got a Kingdom Hearts that actually looks awesome, like a Final Fantasy, but just in case, we also actually have Final Fantasy. Street Fighter 6 comes out on the 2nd of May. My channel launches on the 5th of May. I wonder how my first video will be covered. I wonder what my first video I'll be covering on my channel the following week. Well, I'm going to take a guess and say that's what it is. But the downside is we're headed into June, so we may have missed the window on that one. Just by just a small amount. The year's going by way too fast, though. It's hard to meter for sure. So it's insane to think about that we're going into the year being half done already. It's really nice, though, to be completely fair. We've been getting rain like crazy. It's been raining every night. It's supposed to rain every night for the next 2 weeks, and I'm super excited. May, let me just put something in my drink again. What was the game growth? Raisins! I like that. That's funny. It's crazy to think about that. It's difficult for me to think about that as well. Like I said, we're getting rain. I live in the middle of a desert. And I don't mean that metaphorically. I mean that actually and literally. And we've been getting rain and are now getting rain every day for the next 2 weeks. And I'm so excited about that. So I've never lived in a place. I've stayed in many, but I've never lived in a place where you actually got rain consistently. We usually get No, you're good. The year's going by that quickly. So I put it in the thumbnail, but for anybody who's curious, this probably looks pretty normal. This is Donkey Kong Country 3. We'll do single player, but this is a ROM hack. And this particular ROM hack apparently is the most touted and most complete. So I know a game like the back of my hand. I know DKC 3 like the back of my hand. But I don't have an idea at all as to what this this ROM hack is going to do. I have no idea where we're going with it, how different it is, what's different, etc. After this one, I might switch over to another little ROM hack that I think is cool that I'm actually going to promote. If you have never played DKC3, I'm going to actually promote that it be maybe if your first exposure to it, if you're not a purist. Play this female woke channel. Hey, that's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and say something on that. Not woke. Female protagonists are not a new concept. Like you say, oh, there's more female protagonists than male protagonists, and that's probably true because guys were kind of the dominant gamer and it's easier for them to proxy if the character's also male. But there are all kinds of female characters that are awesome from this era, and there's nothing wrong. I don't know. I don't get it. Side note though, Dixie's freaking awesome in both 2 and 3. I turn this up so I can hear the smidge. There we go. I heard somebody saying that the other day, not woke channel, but I heard somebody saying that the other day about not having great female protagonists in video games, and I'm like, man, we've done that for a while. Lara Croft was literally the icon in the late 90s. Like, she was who. So
just letting you know I'm going.
oh, okay, cutie.
You should also name him Vlad.
I like that. I like that a lot. Sorry, that was Anna popping in to say hi. She was doing some stuff, and she, as a fan of Chun-Li, that statement bothers. Chun-Li was awesome too, but there's... It was Anna popping, and she was doing a stream over on her channel on Twitch. I'm doing this one here, and she's gonna do some stuff in a town about an hour away from us, and she was just letting me know she was headed out that direction. So we rescued a little. I gotta send this to. I'm gonna send this to you, Ash. This is gonna be pretty interactive, but I think you'll have fun with it here. So as I said, we've been getting rain like crazy, which is not a normal thing for us out here in the desert. And before one of the major storms came, we rescued a little kitty cat, because there is absolutely zero way this little guy would have survived. And she just suggested a name which I thought was really adorable, which was let me make sure this is all good. There we go. She just recommended Vlad, which I think I like quite a lot. Let's send this over. If it's a spider, we will never... No, it's not a spider. I do like spiders, but no, it's not a spider. This little guy... we rescued him about a week ago now? Yeah. He was just randomly out in the yard, and he would have drowned because he is, as you may be able to see from my thumb, very tiny. Oh, good. I'm glad. I hope she does. So Anna wants to keep him and name it. We thought he was a girl at first, but no, he's certainly not. So she wants to name him Vlad. I thought, yeah, that's really freaking cool. Get some Castlevania in there. Get some Dracula in there. All right, I have no idea what to expect in this. I hope she does enjoy it. Please let me know what she thinks. If it gave her a smile, then that would be wonderful. We have this one would be our fourth cat. We would have 4 cats. We lost Fuzzy and we lost Wuzzy, so now I'd have Vlad. Okay, so far this looks pretty normal. Okay, this is absolutely not normal. Things have changed. So maybe the level layouts are changed? Let's see. It's still up there. But this pier normally connects all the way. In this case, it does not. A disconnected pier. Is there anything cool down? Okay, so you have to use a roll bounce to get back to start. No, you can't even do that. Wait a minute. Oh, there's nothing back there either. Okay. I just showed her she's playing Jedi. She said, "Oh, so that's a good result." Oh, good. Survivor, when you said that. Okay, so that looks like a roll bounce, but how am I gonna... I can't roll bounce from here. Yeah, I can't roll bounce from there. I don't think I can roll bounce from here, technically. Maybe. What the... Okay, I gotta figure out what the heck... This is really... Survivor is great. I put a post up on Twitter the other day. Just pointing out some of the little odds and ends that they decided to do with Survivor. Like, there's a picture of... I've got a picture of Cal on the... This is a weird layout. I got a picture of Cal on one of the planets, and he is... looking at a building on the side. There's Arabesh, and the Arabesh says, I believe it was JKLMNOPQR. That's it. That's all it says. It's just a segment of the alphabet. So, okay, this is what the heck is this? This is all different. Okay, so you're supposed to, it's a bonus barrel. Is the bonus barrel the same? There's a collect 15 bananas. The first bonus barrel you get is a collect stars. So let's see if it's the same bonus barrel. Yeah, so the bonus barrel has changed position, but it's still the same bonus barrel. Boop. Have you played Kaze and the Wild Masks? I have not played Kaze and the Wild Masks yet. Recently, I've been on... Let's just do that, I guess. Recently, I've been on Jedi Survivor when I get a chance. I haven't really gotten to play a whole lot recently. Jedi Survivor when I get the chance. The heck? What the heck is this? This is weird, is what this is. Okay, well, I got that. I'll take a look at it. Is it a full fledged release, or is it like a $39.99 type game, or? I'll have to take a look at it, because yeah, like I said, because of all the travel and all the stuff we've been up to, I haven't played. I have a little, so I gotta say, if you're a retro player, if you're a retro gamer, I'm gonna make this recommendation for you. It's a device called the Supaboy, 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 not super. But it is actually pretty awesome. I bought mine a long time ago. I think I bought it for like, I think they're 130. I think I bought mine for 75. But they actually turn into full-fledged Nintendo, like Super Nintendo systems. And so if you're like me and you have an EverDrive cart, you can, or if you want to get one, EverDrive carts aren't that expensive. If you get them official from like, what's it's called? What? Brilliant. Oh, that's not coming back. If you decide you want to get one from, what is it? Compa, I don't remember what they are. Crit, I don't remember. Starts with a K. But anyway, if you decide you want to get one from them, you can actually take this and get a full-fledged... oh, it's an indie, heavily inspired. Oh, heck yeah. I really need to start Jedi Survivor. I'm busy over the next few days. When I'm back, Street Fighter 6 will be out, and so I'll be starting my... Oh, heck yeah. No, I mean, Survivor is great so far, but at the same time, like, definitely prioritize, I mean, what's going to make you happiest. Okay, the sneak's going the opposite direction is a little disconcerting. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. If you are, anyway, if you get an EverDrive, you decide to get one of these little Supaboys. They actually turn into full-fledged Super Nintendo systems. So I was in a hotel working in town several hours away from where I live, and I was able to just take this little guy, which literally would fit comfortably in a jacket pocket, and plug it into the hotel television, take my own Super Nintendo controller and 2 cables, and I had a full-on Super Nintendo. Okay, so this is this meant to be more difficult, or am I just taking this too slow? Street Fighter 6 is taking everything over for me. Survivor will be started very soon. I'll look forward to it. Oh yeah, heck yeah. No, I mean, no worries. Like I said, Survivor's great, but if Street Fighter is like what you're most excited for, go for that for sure. Okay, I think I automatically still get that one. I think it saves, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited for Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1, and Tekken. So like, I'm excited for the whole 9 yards. Like I said, there's a ton of games right now that are coming out that I am super stoked for. But recently it's been retro, where I can play it. I've also been playing Coffee Talk 2, Butterflies and Hibiscus, which is if you're into visual novels, boy, there's a tight window. I have to do it when their heads are turned because their hitbox is only on that razor blade of theirs on the back. Maybe they've ramped up the difficulty, or maybe I am just taking it slow. It doesn't seem like the difficulty's ramped up. Honestly, it just feels a little more wonky. The controls are fine, but like this right here. So the thing about it is that I need to go when it's coming nearest me because the hitbox is only in the little razor blade of theirs. Okay, normally there's a bonus barrel over this way. This doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel good at all. What the heck is it? You can see that right there. I would have gotten hit if not. What is this? I mean, I don't understand what this doesn't even seem to have the. Okay, so that was that was the correct direction, I guess. I played the beta and it's so good. One of the best feeling Street Fighter games I've ever played. Huareng and Brian were actually recently announced for Tekken 8, which makes me happy. Two of my favorites of the franchise. Brian's cool. Huareng for sure, though. For sure. I just want them to have. Can we get some camera drift? Okay, so the coin is down here. I'm not really going to worry about 100% at this point. I've played the original DKC. Again, I've been playing it for going on 30 years now. So I know it very well. This is not at all the original. So I wonder if it'll take me 30 years to get to the level of proficiency with it. I hope not. It's actually cool seeing the new... I'm going to try and throw it over him. It's fine. Wait, oh. I hit the halfway barrel back there. Why am I just now getting O? A halfway barrel should be after the O before the N. Good lord. You know Yoshimitsu is going to get revealed, and you know that his design is going to be kookier than ever. I really, really liked his design in Tekken 3. I think might have been my favorite. And I would love to see an HD iteration of that, but I don't know how... I don't know how inclined they are to do that. I thought about starting a separate fighting game channel, but instead I'll just make series on. Oh, that's where T3 is still my. Yeah, it was just such a cool, like the fanged mask, the glowy green sword, the whole 9 yards on that. I think was the best. The thing about it is Yoshimitsu. I never understood him as a character. Because Yoshimitsu was supposed to be the cursed sword, but then he became like the I don't know. There's a whole lot to it, but I don't know. I like it. I think it's cool. But I want to see. What I really want to see is I want to see where they're going to go with the story on this, because they always kind of they keep. Like, the whole story's kind of stayed the same, even since, like, Tekken 2. You remember there's a lot of Kazuya, Heihachi, Jin kind of issue. I love how he's put. Yeah, I do too. That confused me at very first, but I think that's awesome. It makes sense, too, because he's a sword character in a fighting game franchise. So he needs to be a sword character in a sword game franchise, so I think it makes sense. Okay. Okay, this is already something that I don't know if I like. Kazuya versus Jin. What I was kind of hoping is that they would kind of step the stakes up a little bit. Heihachi has been big, and then you've got Jinpachi. Heihachi's big bad, right? Kazuya's big bad. Jin's, big good, kind of. And Jinpachi's big good, but it's really awkward, except for when he's turned. But I really would love to see... Okay, so you got to jump on them, I guess. Okay. Oh my god. What the heck? Okay, so this is now a freaking cart level, or whatever. Okay, and you got to jump on the heads of the... I don't know what that noise is for. What is that jump? I might die on level 3. Have they? I'm just curious. Is it? When I read the little synopsis of this, they said, "Oh, it's the difficulty should be about the same as the original." I thought, okay. I mean, I'm a game for try. Oh crap. Oh, and you can just wedge it up there, huh? Okay, well, no iframes, huh? remember when they tried to make Lars the new main guy in T6, but didn't, no, yeah, I agree. Same as NKX when they tried to make Cassie Cage a new face, just didn't work. I have no problem with it changing after the old story's resolved, but Jean and Kazuya and all of them have just they've been the big guys since the very, very beginning, and they haven't wrapped that story up. Wrap the story up, and then we can take a look at something else. But the jump window is so freaking tight on that first jump. My God. Yeah, I don't know why. To be fair, I mean, there are so many characters that can be a good, I think, could be a good Lord. I think there are so many characters that can be a good face for Mortal Kombat. It's just Cassie Cage is too new, in my opinion, to be that. I would say, I mean, Johnny Cage could do it. I think he could, but he's been there since the beginning. I can't believe my luck that they're all 2023. Tekken 8 has that makes sense. Tekken 8 has a chance to be in 2024. I you know, that's fine if that's what they have to do to make it good, you know, or top or whatever. I don't want to. The thing I don't want them to do is try to focus on. Nope. The thing I don't want them to do is try to. Can I hold on? Let me see if I can cheese this for just a second. What I don't want them to do is try to make it. Okay. See, if I don't jump in the cart, I can swim. The water isn't a death sentence. See? You may be sitting there and going, that's cheating. But no, it isn't. If the game allows it, it's fair. Oh, surely they would have... Look at this. So that cart's a trap anyway, because look, you can't even... I mean, oh, well, I guess not. I was going to say, I guess technically they want you to go in the barrel. This barrel would, I guess, shoot you down technically. So, okay. Okay, hold on guard. Hold on. There we go. Then they want you to go back over the Coco and back here. Okay, there we go. Hey, that's cheating. Wait, no, it is. I was going to say, yeah, that's not good. I have a feeling now that Liu Kang is a god and Raiden is human, they basically switch roles and Raiden may be the new champion of Earthrealm. That would be okay. Raiden was always a cool character. And in all honesty, Raiden was, for a long time, Raiden was my favorite character. But they just got bigger, badder, and better as things went along. And I don't know who my favorite character is now, but I do know I tend to favor the bad guys. And some input lag on that, or some frame drop. Whoa. I do know I really like Shao Kahn. I didn't actually, this might sound unfair, I didn't care for Kotal Kahn as much because of how much I liked Shao Kahn. Not that Kotal Kahn was bad or anything was wrong with him, I just didn't think he was as cool. They made Raiden a guy who just fumbles things time and time. Yeah, it did kind of get to that point, didn't it? Which maybe, I mean, this could just be his full-on redemption arc, so that's possible. Okay, so hold on, wait a minute. They want us to swim with the tide to, I guess, go up the... Okay, so we don't actually have to roll bounce, I guess. Let's just knock that out. And then, can I roll bounce the other way? Whoa! Let's try it again. The answer is no, you can't. There's no way to do the roll bounce. So how in the world... Okay, hold on. Oh, I rolled bounce. Well, I may be just screwed. Let's see. Nope. No, there are barrels up there. This seems like this seems like a really arbitrary way to get up to the finish of the. Whoa! And then it almost fires you directly into a flurry of enemies. I can't get up there because I don't have both Kongs still. Alright, fine. Let's see. Shao Kahn is MK's big boss. He just is. I love Shang Tsung more as a villain, and Onaga definitely needs the spotlight again. But Shao Kahn is MK's villain. See, I think he's cool. Onaga was really cool. I think we talked about this a couple of days ago, where it was, we were talking about Onaga, and that I thought I picked up to there being a potential for Liu Kang having been an Onaga descendant, but I never could see Quan Chi. Quan Chi was cool, but I never could see him as the main villain because, like you said, he was always the kind of I couldn't ever see him as. Why is the camera not dropping? I could never see him as the big bad because there was half of it where it was, yeah, like you said, he was this kind of cool planner, puppet master style guy. But then on the other side, there was always this kind of weird, especially with the, I don't know if you ever watched the cartoon in the 90s, but he was really incompetent in that case. Whoa. I knew it was not going to be. Yeah. If you ever watch and again, the cartoon wasn't a great adaptation, but if you ever get a chance to watch that, he was just the most incompetent buffoon you had ever seen. And it was really sad, too, because he's actually he's actually super cool. When you look at, like, the live-action cutscenes where he's got the really cool, like, awesome deep voice and all that, I think that's the version of Quan Chi I think I like the most. As a sorcerer, he's more powerful than Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung is just a better fighter. So here's a question. I mean, because we're talking Mortal Kombat with a Mortal Kombat expert. MKX2, yeah. What is the story of Quan Chi's competition with Shang Tsung? Like, why is it that that's something that we can actually discern? It's the first DK coin I've gotten. That tells you how rough this has been. That's gonna die. Like, that's the thing. I've known him to be a sorcerer, and he's a big bad sorcerer. But I never understood what the I never kind of understood why it was that if it was just that Shang Tsung was a better. If it was, like you said, he's just a better fighter, or if it was that he was there was some other, like, plot device power that Shang Tsung possessed, or I don't know. There we go. Okay, I'm not really a fan of these knick-knack pieces. Or knack-knack, I'm sorry. That's what they're called. Oh, Limguins, all of a sudden. What the heck? Good lord. There's not really a competition. It's just discussed between fans. There's two big sources of franchise. Their connection comes from Deadly, and right. No, I guess that's. I'm talking about the comp. Yeah, that's fair. I guess I was talking about the competition or being competitive in a sorcerer versus sorcerer battle. Like, what sorcerer versus sorcerer battle? Like, what makes that competition? Why is it that one? Like, why did we need the second sorcerer of that level? Because that's the thing. Not everybody in Mortal Kombat is a sorcerer, ironically. Several people have some level of dabbling with it, but if you take a look at it, like Quan Chi and Shang Tsung certainly are. They're blatantly sorcerers. Okay, so we're back over here. So in this level, for anybody who's played the Murky Mill, normally the way that it works is you are an elephant. You're Ellie. And Ellie does not like mice. Oh, but we get Squitter? Okay, so we actually have to work our way back. Squitter is the most overpowered... What the heck? No, that is not his... That's not his spiderweb noise. What the heck noise did they use? He actually uses like a kind of scrunchy noise. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like some weird noise. Some weird noise fonts being, or samples being used here. Squitter is probably the most overpowered, though, when it comes to any of these guys. He can kill just about anybody. With the web. Okay, so we don't get him. So are we going to have to be Ellie at some point? So the thing with Ellie on this is that Ellie is afraid of the mice if she can see them in a bazooka. Okay, that's another thing Squitter can actually kill, are bazookas. The crazy thing now, like I mentioned before, is that there will be separate timelines once MK1 launches, which is insane. Well, the thing that I'm curious as to is what everybody else... What, really? What everybody else's change is going to be. You have MK1 through MK Armageddon. Then another... Oh, MK1 through... Yeah, MK Armageddon. Then another is MK9 and 10. And now, MK1 until they've written themselves in a corner again. Yeah. That's true. Armageddon was one of my favorite... You know, I need to play Armageddon on here. Armageddon was actually one of my absolute... Okay, so he doesn't affect a bazooka. Armageddon was actually one that I really enjoyed. Too many objects there. I think Armageddon was... Okay, was probably my... Uh-oh. I didn't realize it didn't go down all the way. Yeah, I need to play Armageddon again. I actually have, believe it or not, I have the best version of Armageddon. Yeah, and that's part of the reason I think I preferred it so much. The best version of Armageddon. You ready for this hot take? Wii. Yeah, and that's what I thought was so cool. Well, there was also a lot more to it. It didn't just feel like a generic fighting game. It had a lot more to... It had a lot more to it, I thought, so. I knew you were going to say... Yeah, I do like the Wii... Well, because I like the Wii, but... the thing about the Wii versions of the games, there were a couple of games that the Wii version actually got the best version of. Up until, you know, nowadays when we have some of the relaunches. But cases or examples of these are Mortal Kombat Armageddon, which actually got had some extra stuff in it. Bully, which was the Bully I think everybody knows what Bully is. Bully from the guys that made Grand Theft Auto, right? And then Resident Evil 4, the Wii edition, was actually one of the best versions with some of the patchiness fixed. Dang it. I have no idea. Okay, these sound fonts are wrong. Okay. Look, so normally it's a coughing sound. It's like a high-pitched coughing sound. That sound font right there is the little pink guys. Those are called crimps. That's their bite sound. My problem with Armageddon was the change behind the fatalities. There were so many characters that didn't have enough memory for actual fatalities, so they made everyone have weird custom ones. Yeah, I agree with that. But even still, overall, I think that downside, that one downside, there were a couple of others, I think, but I think that for the most part was... Honestly, I would say... I think that Armageddon probably gave the most bang for the buck. There was just so much right about that game. I remember reading before I even bought it, I remember reading an article that was coming out. This is back when the gaming magazines were a thing. But I remember reading the... I was going to guess the DK coins over here, but... Oh, Coven Cloud! Whoa! That studio has always been underappreciated for how much content they put into a fighting game. Yeah, I thought the game... I seriously think that game is still tip of the top. Okay, so there's definitely a difficulty spike here because Cuff and Clout don't even Cuff and Clout show up in a total of like 3 levels, I think, in all of Donkey Kong Country 3. And they're more difficult levels. I think the apex, the one you're going to find the most in, is the one called Tyrant Twin Tussle, which is in the Secret World Krematoa. I can't think of where that sound comes from. I know that chomping sound, but whoever did this, they messed with the sound fonts. It's in a way that I'm not very comfortable with. That's their fine. They're fine. I mean, they do okay, but you know. My favorite Mortal Kombats are 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat Deception, Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat 10, or X, and Shaolin Monks. The only MK games I don't like are MK vs. DC and Special Forces. I don't mind MK versus DC. I know that's not a hot take, but I actually don't mind it. It's definitely way watered down. It's incredibly watered down, so I'm not going to debate that. But I do honestly like it all right. I bought the back when they came out with a special edition. I bought it because it had Alex Ross did like a cover art piece that was really, really good, so I bought it, and I still have it. I like Alex Ross a lot. The bad MK game still. The thing about it is, there aren't very many, this is just my opinion, but there aren't very many worlds where you bring Mortal Kombat characters into that the Mortal Kombat characters don't just utterly annihilate. I would agree DC has some characters that would probably not get annihilated by Mortal Kombat characters. I mean, obviously, it's going to be really tough to beat Superman when Superman's literal only weakness is a random rock that you might or might not find. But I honestly think it's just really hard otherwise to imagine any of those other characters making it. Come on, guys. Okay. There's probably another one over here, too. Nope. Okay, that was weird. Superman would probably obliterate everyone other than the Elder. Yeah, exactly. I don't... But he holds himself back, which Mortal Kombat characters don't tend to do. So that's another piece. Like... Even Elder Gods, with the exception of Raiden. God dang it. Aren't really good about holding themselves back. Well, I was going to try to do it. What did you think of Sony's showcase? I didn't get to see Sony's showcase, sadly. I heard snippets of it. Let me stop here really quickly. I have notes, I think, from conversation with my buddy. When I heard, I know the things that I cared about were like Delta was kind of took over everything for me. Let's see. So let's take a look. For me, it was a good show with some great games, but as someone expecting more from first-party games, it was a disappointing show. So let's take a look. I'll just take a look at someone else's quick list on it because I want to go ahead and give my take on it. Why not? So Metal Gear Solid Delta I was super stoked about. Like that one, I'm incredibly stoked about. I think it's going to be fantastic. They just have to. I mean, they're going to have to try to make it without Kojima, but I think they'll do fine. That's the one I think I was most excited for. Alan Wake 2 is pretty awesome. But the fact that there's not gonna be a physical version was really, really disappointing. Let's see. Now that's just ice cold right there. All right, I had to say something. So let's see. Insomniac are my favorite game studio of all time. They've never made a bad game as far as I'm concerned. Spider-Man 2, I did see that. I saw that play, and that looked really, really good. I like the idea of. I thought the idea of the PlayStation Q was kind of cool. I think that's really neat. I still don't think they're going to be able to do it as well as Nintendo has, but I think that's really cool. Streaming is the big problem. The thing that PlayStation doesn't currently have down, in my opinion, is the streaming. And THQ Nordic have offered to publish the physical version. I hope so. The thing that I like the idea of the streaming, but here's the deal. I designed my own internet when I was working for an ISP. I designed my own circuit. I know what the speeds look like. I know what the speeds are. I know what they go over, all of that. And it goes through, if I take a look at my internet speeds, I have a gig by gig. Constantly, even at high traffic times, I'm getting at least 500 gigabyte speeds. And I couldn't, when I was doing the Jedi Survivor stream, I could not get the stream, both of them plugged in to an internet source, so they were getting the maximum amount of speed. I could not get a good, solid, non-stuttery stream. I do not like streaming at all. Plus, it puts me off their PS3 library on PS Plus. Yeah, I agree. I agree completely with that. Xbox actually threw some shade in a really interesting way, though, and I said this is ice cold. They basically took several of the games that are coming to their that PlayStation announced, and they just posted. They were like, "Yeah, that's what a good-looking group," and they basically were like, coming to Xbox." And they peppered in some of their own games. So like Metal Gear Solid Delta's on there, Alan Wake 2 is on there. That's pretty ice cold. I am excited. I don't care. I probably will still play Delta on PS5. Alan Wake, I don't really care which one I play that on. Obviously, Spider-Man, I have to play on the 5 because it's exclusive. So that looks like a good lineup. I don't like the idea of the streaming service unless they heavily optimize their capability. I just don't think that they're, like I said, if I'm not able to Phantom Blade Zero looked insane. I don't think I saw that or heard anything on it either for that matter. Like I said, the thing I really just don't want, like, here's the thing, if they would have announced the Vita 2, I would have been a happy man. I'm a big Helldivers fan, so seeing this sequel was great. Helldivers is cool. Is that what that follows? Because I thought Helldivers was cool. I don't know. I would have loved to see Vita 2 instead of PlayStation Q. Cartridge-based games, you know. If it were possible to condense some of the games down to a handheld version, I think that would be cool too. Which I think it is, honestly. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. Some of your larger, open world games would be difficult, but I don't think it would be difficult to do that with your more linear titles. So, we'll see what happens, I guess. Let's switch over, that way if I lose, I don't lose someone that has the better mobility right now. The Q device honestly seems like a lazy cash grab attempt. Why would they release the expensive Backbone controller available for phone? Yeah. That works great, and then also announce this. No, I completely agree. That's the thing. Like, what is it that's going? My question is, again, if I can't successfully stream their game in a house where both consoles are connected via wire to the internet source, so literally all I have to do is be able to stream between the console and the app, but they're both being powered by top tier Cat 5 cable, or Cat 6 cable in my case, then why is it that I can't stream even 30 frames a second? I wasn't even getting 30 frames a second. Like, there were instances where it would just, the app would crash and be like, oh, so I forget, Cuff and Clout, god dang you. My worry is that they're becoming arrogant, Sony again, like the early PS3. Yeah. They're doing so well that they feel they don't have to try. Whereas where are all the first-party studio games? Weird showcase. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not gonna be too harsh on them, because there's definitely stuff that I agree that I like coming in, but I completely agree with you when it comes to that potential of, oh well, we don't have to, prove ourselves anymore. There was no avoiding that unless I went all the way back down. The thing about PS3, the thing, I feel like this is the word that I would use. Early PS3 was artsy, right? That's what I felt like. They had the weird boomerang controller, and they made their console really difficult to develop for. But the difference is they did actually have some really interesting games to grab. Heavenly Sword was kind of cool. Lair was kind of cool. Lair's music was really good. They were still coming out with new stuff. They were just, I think they were trying to be artsy. Oh, we're the art. We make art. Besides, yeah, I would agree with you. Well, and pulling that to the side. I mean, obviously we can see. I think Nintendo's done a pretty darn good job, but I agree with you that Sony's definitely, when Sony comes out with their first party games, their God of Wars, their Final Fantasy, remakes now, but Final Fantasy titles and so on and so forth. Well, that's not even theirs. That's still Square Enix. It's just partnership, so it's second party in that instance. When they come out with their God of Wars, their Ratchet and Clanks, their that kind of stuff, Jack and Daxter's, that's really good. The difference between them and Nintendo, and where I think I'm going to give Nintendo bonus points, is that Nintendo does a lot of unique third party, or they create second party as well. And I think they do that in the interim to supplement. And I think they do a darn good job of it too. Like, there are a ton of games you can't even play that are not first party Nintendo games you can't even play on the other consoles. They made an agreement with whomever the original developer publishers were going to be. And I think they did, like I said, a darn good job of it. Whereas Sony does not seem to do that nearly as often. It's kind of like, here's third. It's first and third. There's no second. Sony have definitely moved away from smaller games and more creative risks. Everything is a giant blockbuster now, and if it's a success, it's time to make 6 other projects around that IP. Yeah, I think Horizon is great. There's an MMO in the works, a TV show, a multiplayer game, and Horizon 3. All for that one IP. Well, and same thing with The Last of Us. You're exactly right. Same thing for The Last of Us, though they had... they've got which, granted, I've understood that it's really good. I mean, I've played the games. The games are fine. 1 is great. 2, I don't really care anything about. I didn't have a ton of fun with 2. Because I was super frustrated at characters being just there for the sake of being there. That the characters in the game cared about the characters more than I cared about them, which is not a good sign. Shoot. I just start over. The overlap on this elevator is stupid. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, you've got The Last of Us, and then you've got the television show, the Pedro Pascal, show, and all that, and that's fine. but it's not really. I mean, what, why instead? Here's the other problem, though. Like I said, there's two sides to this syndrome, right? Because the other side of that syndrome is that we get things like. Let me take a peek here. The other side of that syndrome is that we end up with missing. Nice. Okay, that's fair. Something oddly pertinent came through, so I wanted to double check. But I love all these games, but if we never got Horizon, we would have never gotten Horizon if Sony wouldn't take the Guerrilla Games off Killzone, or Ghost of Tsushima wouldn't even exist. It wouldn't exist if Sony kept Sucker Punch and Infamous, right? Yeah, that's true. We needed more IPs, not relying on sequel after sequel. Which, to be fair, Infamous, to me, had a decently healthy stop. Honestly, the little vampire spin-off for Infamous was also really... I'm going to hit that star barrel, and then I'm going to jump down here, because it doesn't look locked. Oh, it's not even functional. Okay, well. To me, I feel like that I love Infamous, I love Tsushima even more. Yeah, and Ghost of Tsushima is great. It's beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful game. But I don't disagree with you. I think I think you're spot on. But by that same standard, I'm looking for. Like I said, we have the other side of that syndrome. I would love for Bethesda to freaking come out with Elder Scrolls 6. I don't even care where they put it. Right? Put it in the Black Marsh. I don't even care. Make all of Tamriel open without it being an MMO again. That would be great. But we have been waiting for what will have been... Okay, now we're Ellie, so that means that we're potentially going to get scared of mice again. If they see them. But only if they're in the light. Games are way too big and dev cycles are too long. Well, here's the thing. I remember doing Skyrim. I remember launching Skyrim, right? I worked that launch on November 11th, 2011. November 11th, 2011. And we're in 2023 now. It'll be 12 years old November 11th of this year. And we haven't heard hide nor hair of an actual development cycle for that. Imagine if Sony let 20 Naughty Dog employees go off and create a smaller 6-hour game. Same with Insomniac or any of these teams, instead of waiting almost a decade for some new games. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. But like you said, all the spin-offs aren't necessary. I think that it's, to be completely honest with you, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they have to do that. And agreed that it's also too big, because everything's got to be... Like, here's the thing. If Witcher 4 comes out, which it's already been announced, but it's not... They're playing the same Belcher fight, so 2 cycles, which is, I believe, the most ideal you can do. If Witcher 4's already kind of gotten teased, we know that that they use like 6-year development cycles, which I'm okay with, generally. But I think that I don't think we should measure from Witcher 3, which was 2015. I think we have to kind of measure from Cyberpunk, which was 2020. I think that's a good healthy cycle. 5-6 year cycle for a game as big as that was. Witcher 3, again, one of my absolute favorite games of all time. Beautiful open world game. Nothing felt like it was purposeless. There was just the right amount of humor in it, but it was really good at staying to the story and keeping the key points, important, and so on and so forth. I don't know. I can't get behind these 10+ year development cycles, and I can't get behind these on the other side. I can't get behind these You know, people trying to flip one out every year. Oh, that's not a grabbable barrel. That's just the background. Okay. Didn't know he was going to come off the platform. He didn't do it the first time. Because I guess I accidentally despawned him. Rocksteady's yeah. Well, then, but like, speak completely. Are you really that excited about Suicide Squad? Oh, wasn't paying attention. I was trying to play it like actual barrel shield bust up, which is you run sideways, you don't go up. Dying Light, Mad Max, MGS5, Batman Arkham Knight. Yeah, it was a great game. It was a great year for all that. But at this, like I said, our game projects aren't the same anymore. The way that we look at games and the way that we've looked at, like, it evolved during COVID, I think. And I think it did it in a really bad way. That's my point. I said, I know we've waited so long for their next game and it's going to be that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind seeing another, I wouldn't mind seeing another, Arkham series, that was a single character focus. Okay, he's just throwing that against the wall. They did do Gotham Knights. Rocksteady didn't, but Gotham Knights came out in that series. And I gotta be honest, Gotham Knights is pretty darn fun. I actually think Gotham Knights is fairly solid. Ah, shoot. Oh yeah, I think Gotham Knights is pretty fun. I bought the deluxe edition a while back, and honestly, it's been, like I said, it's been pretty fun. Aha! I found a dime. I wonder if the warp barrels are still around. Let's see. So barrel shield bust up. Nope, not there. I bet it is, but yeah, the team behind Arkham Origins made Gotham Knights, which is honestly pretty good. And Arkham Origins I thought was really good too. Rumors are they wanted to make a Superman game, and WB wanted them to make Suicide Squad. There aren't very many Superman games that are any good, so it would have been really fun to see a Superman game. Superman Returns is pretty good. Not Superman 64 style games, but Superman Returns is fairly solid, I think. People don't seem to have the same creativity they used to. I didn't mean to climb, I was just trying to grab the rope. At some point in time, I think I'm gonna have to. Son of a gun! I hit the freaking just wrong place. At some point in time, I think that they should make another. I think they should make another Superman game, and I think it'd be really cool to do it. But just nobody knows how to make a Superman game. Batman, it's easy because you have natural limitations that don't seem like plot device. I mean, he's a human, and so the people he's fighting against are really just a whole bunch of super geniuses. And because of that, it's really difficult to not... I mean, that's the limitation, right? He's locked in a prison. Okay, cool. There we go. But I don't disagree with you. I just think that I think creativity. But I also think the gamers, and this is a big problem, and I think it's an argument on the side of the reason that people have been doing it is, I think that gamers have changed as much as games themselves have changed. I think that gamers have changed, and I honestly, I think it's for the worse. Let's let them just do their thing. Okay, I know these are all three at the same time. I think gamers have changed for the worst. I think that gamers have become, personally, I think gamers on the whole have become more impatient. I think gamers on the whole have become more, I think they've become more impatient. I think they've become more demanding. I think want now that they've had Grand Theft Auto 5, now that they've had Witcher 3 and all these other really nice and well-made open world games, I think that they get spoiled and they start demanding that that's what they get. But our attention spans, I'm not going to say mine, I'm not a TikTok person, but some TikTok people do. Their attention spans have gotten shorter, and their ability to wait for a good project to come out have diminished substantially. I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to stay behind the barrel, but you know what? I don't even care. So what do you do? Like, what do you do when you have an audience with a shorter detention? When you have an audience with a shorter attention span, a higher series of demands because of the amount of quality they've been delivered, and a more aggressive, more accessible way to critique you, right? Because the amount of damage you can do on social network also has a huge impact on whether or not these games flop or famous. Some random minkies in the in-between here. Okay, we're just gonna... There we go. Tell me that wasn't cool. I'm back. I apologize if you had... Well, yeah, I did, but that's okay. I mean, you're no worries. The thing I asked is, or the thing I had posited, I think, was that I think game developer... Whoops. The rocks are really kind of slow. I think that game developers have become less ambitious, and I think that, and I also think that I think the gamers themselves, ourselves, are to blame for it, because I also believe that there are a lot of us that have shorter attention spans, but high expectations, high demands. We've got these TikTok attention spans. And again, I don't group myself in that particular one because I'm not a TikTok person. I put videos up on it, but I don't watch it. But we want games that are as big as Grand Theft Auto 5, as big as Witcher 3, as detailed and intricate. And we don't want it to take 5 years. We can't wait that long. We can't wait 6 years. That's why we got Cyberpunk again. The way that we got it, they scrap the project, people get upset. 2016 they work, all of a sudden 2020 turns around, we get a mess. But that's because there's only 4 years of project there for a project that should have been at least 6 years plus. So you can't blame the gamers for everything. Then that was what I was saying. The other part I was saying is you also have your biggest critics also have your biggest critics, the people that are buying your game. Because here's the thing, you're giving advance copies to your professional critics, right? Your critics, though, that can have the biggest impact on your game, the actual gamers, have access to Twitter, and they will sit there and rip you a new one on a Twitter post. And believe it or not, it's decently it's actually decently influential for people to post game critiques on platforms like Twitter. I mean, that's what people are reading. Not me usually, but sometimes. I should have had the super but up stuff. Shoot. God dang it. I don't think I'm going to beat the Brash record. I don't know where the end is, though. It feels like this is it. Okay, use the iframes. Oh, shoot. Really? Okay, yeah, I did not beat the Brash record, but okay. Games media isn't helping gamers, and the overall reception of games in the industry aren't either. I think a lot of gamers have become incredibly cheap, very demanding with zero patience. They want giant games, yet don't even finish them, yet that's 10 hours. Yet a game that's 10 hours isn't worth it. Makes no sense. Yeah. Well, me personally, I like... let me see. There used to be a point where there definitely used to be a point where like I here's my thing. I don't mind a short game if the short the how do I say this? I don't mind short games. Okay, this is starting out about the same. No longer the same. That was quick. I don't care as much for shorter games at the $70 price point. Because I remember when we could get the same length of game at the $60 price point and the $50 price point, right? I remember those days. So it is a little difficult for me to say that I want that. But at the same time, I do finish my games. Like, I play the games till the end. I played God of War till the end. I play, I do actually finish the games that I buy. I don't finish them all immediately, but I do finish the games that I buy. I don't know how much good that did. It looked like there's another lift. But I agree with you also that there's a lot of agendizing in... This has happened to media in general, right? Actual media critics. I never did trust them a ton, but you can't trust them at all anymore. Because if it's not a part of an agenda, then it's no good. Then it's like they won't write it off. It's the reason that the Velma television series got decent critic reviews and absolutely scathing audience reviews, because it was a part of. I don't think that's what we're supposed to be doing. It was a part of a thing to kind of push this narrative, and it wasn't actually a substantial thing. Do you not think a full price game that's a bit shorter but excellent can be worth? I think that it can. I think it can be worth the prices that I paid for them back when they began. I think the problem with this is that I think that so right now our average pricing, average prices in games are about $70 a game for a lot of them now. We're actually bypassing the $60 range again. There are games out there. Gosh, freaking. There are games out there that I think are top tier games that I paid $50 for back in the day, that still hold up as well today as ever, and they're, long form, short form doesn't really make a difference to me. I don't particularly care all that much about the length of the game. Is that going to be a... I didn't really care much about the length of the game at that point, because there were good games. I mean, early Call of Duty was actually really good, and it was short, but it was $50. Then it became $60. Now it's $70. So it's very, very difficult for me to justify, well, okay, the game only took me 6 hours, but I spent $20 more than I would have spent for a game the same length and same quality, literally 15 years ago. That's where my problem is. The more expensive the games become, the more I have to get out of them, and I do understand that. The games media is lighting a fire under me to really try and deliver something that people want to come and listen on a new channel. I'm not a savior, but we're all the... Yeah, exactly. No, I get that. That's the thing, is the critics are all in the pocketbooks of different various people. Like I said, you can actually have a super good project, decent project come out, and it gets no positive critique. Try this. It gets no positive critique, and it gets no positive... Yeah, there is another one up there. It gets no positive critique because it doesn't push the appropriate agenda. I mean, being dead serious, look at the way that again, I'm going to media in general, but dead seriously, take a look at how the critics praised Velma. People didn't praise Velma. The critics did. I mean, the critics did. Why is that? Because it pushed a narrative that they happen to be on board with. And that happens in gaming all the time too. So it's just one of those very frustrating pieces, I think. Definitely a challenging bonus barrel to find. Good lord. It's the same bonus though, so it looks like the bosses and the bonuses so far have not changed. Where they are have changed, but the actual substance of them has not changed. Narrative has become more important than actual product and its quality. Well, sure. But that's the thing. Like you can push a really, really good game out there. Think about this. Think about how much praise Last of Us 2 got. Last of Us 2 is not a bad game, by the way. It's just not a great game. But it was treated like it should be a part of a holy trinity of sorts when it came out. And I'm sitting there going, I really just don't, it doesn't make that big of a difference to me. I don't like Abby. The second you prioritize diversity and box ticking the actual quality, yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the thing too, is half of these guys are talking about their reviews, you know, how did that happen? You know, they're 10 minutes in, or they're 6 hours in, or whatever. That's fine, but like a lot of these guys, I think these guys intentionally are being sneaky on a lot of this. Steel barrels do not hurt Cuff and Cloud. I think only TNT barrels do, right? We'll double check. Nope, steel barrels do seem to hurt Cuff and Cloud, so only wooden barrels don't. Like I said, it's you know, there's been too much. There's too much agendizing. There's too much, you know. Oh, if the female character if the lead character is female, then it's a better game than if the lead character is male. Well, I don't know. Is the story any good? Like, I would agree with you that Horizon is a pretty solid game. I think that's a great game. It's got a female protagonist as happenstance. I don't really care all that much beyond it. Shoot. God dang it. But I don't know. Like I said, as far as the length of a game goes, I generally don't care. Generally, I don't care all that much, but $70 is a lot of money. And especially with the economy being what it is, I do feel like I need something that's going to last. I mean, I do feel like I should have something that's going to last me at least a decent amount of time. And I don't know that that's always the case. There aren't, like, I can't think of very many 6-hour games, even the ones that I really enjoyed from before, that I would be willing to pay that extra, because we're literally paying 20% more than we would pay originally. That's a big increase. How did he just come back? How come he keeps respawning? God dang it. This may be the end of the trail. I don't think I can do anything else. Oh, okay. That's better. Ah, shoot. Do you not think that a game being $70 that has 14 hours but incredible from start to finish is better than a 70? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. But the question that I think the thing that I completely agree with that. The problem I have is that 6-hour games are no longer tenable. Like, the goalpost has to move to it being something like a 14-hour game now. Because of... I don't know what the bees were in there for. Because of the amount of money we're spending. Yeah, I mean, if we moved it to 10 or 14, well, not even 10. If we moved it to 14 hours, sure, yeah, I'll do that. I'd absolutely play a shorter game that's better. But I don't feel that a 6-hour game. Let's see. Let's see. All right, 1 second. Let's see. All right, I was checking something out real quick. Yeah, for me, I think that just 6 just has become untenable. Let's see. All right. Sorry, I'm going back and forth here. Organizing the Velma watch party stream after this. Heck no. Heck no. I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But no, being dead serious. I mean, it's just I can't justify back at $50. I could justify okay, good example, very good example. I think, or at least I would argue it's a decent example. Is there was a game that came out that I thought was really good called Spec Ops: The Line. Spec Ops is not a long game. It's got a phenomenal story. It's got a good twist. It's really nice. It does not. It's a great game. And when I bought the game, actually I got the game for free. So we'll be honest. I was working in the gaming industry. So for what I paid for it, which was nothing, it's a fantastic game. It's got a great story. It engrosses you. The gameplay is good. It was challenging, but it wasn't over challenging. I mean, whole 9 yards. Was really, really, really good. Now, why did that hurt me? Now, if we take a look at paying $70 for Spec Ops, it's a lot less worth it. Spec Ops has one of the best stories in games. Yeah, it does. I mean, it's such a good story, but it's not nearly as worth it because it's $70, and it is a short game. So for $70, I can actually play this really, really good, incredibly short game. And sadly, that isn't worth it anymore. Or it's much less likely to be worth it. What that does is that disincentivizes people to play games as they come out new, which is bad for the gaming industry. And it doesn't allow them, you're not as likely to buy a game at its full price point, which is bad for the gaming industry because that's how they have to metric everything. And then on top of that, you're also not as likely to... The heck is up with this TNT barrel? What am I supposed to do with this? You're also not as likely to try. You're okay. That didn't do what I had hoped it would. You're also not as likely to try as many games as you normally would. You're not as likely to be as diverse in your game tastes because you can't afford it. There was a point in time where that was the case. Like you would have, hi guys, I'm editing videos, but I thought I'd hang with you guys while I do so. Well, thank you so much, Omega. It's good to see you. It's good to hear from you. I was saying, I apologize. I've been away for so long. I have been traveling for the past several weeks, so I am just now kind of getting back into some semblance of normalcy. But I have like I feel like that games that would be worth it because of the amount of cost that's involved now are less worth it. I'm starting to lose his mind talking to me, so good. No, that's not true. We're having a good conversation about something that I think has become an increasingly difficult topic. Truly. And we're playing a game that I have absolutely no idea about, because I know Donkey Kong Country 3 like the back of my hand. This is a ROM hack. I have no idea about this at all. I have no idea why any of these things. Why am I not able to jump all of a sudden? There. Oh yeah, you can't do that with Kitty. It's got to be the other way around. But no, no. Good lord. We were talking about whether or not the quality of a game, whether or not the price of the game and the length of the game impact its quality. I can't switch Kongs. You have to be able to see both Kongs back. There we go. Cool. Let's try it again. Oh, that worked out better than I expected. Look at that. See? We were talking about how video games have gotten to be better in terms of, not better necessarily, but I guess we were talking about how video game prices have kind of gone up, people's attention spans have gone down, and the overall quality of games seems to have also kind of diminished in a lot of cases because of people being impatient and so on and so forth. It almost looks like I can clip through the coin at this point, but I'm not going to try it. And I'd have to lose a Kong to get it, so I'm not going to worry about that either. I already lost the Kong. I don't know. I can't think of very many. I can think of great games that I'd pay that I'd pay a decent amount of money for, but I can't think of very many that justify that. Jedi Survivor's been a good example. Like, this is a $70 game. It's Star Wars, so obviously that appeals to me. It's been decently lengthy, and there's a ton of extra stuff that can be done as well on, once you finish the main story. I feel like that kind of approach has done well does well for. Oh, those little holes are for swoopies. I know what those are. All true in most cases. Well, I'm not trying to be picky about things. Like, I'm a retro guy. But the problem is, I remember going out and I remember going out and renting NES games, right? I remember there was a place called La Tienda. I used to go and rent NES games. This was a little cafe. They would have donuts and such, but I'd go and rent NES games. I rent Felix the Cat was a game I rented, and I remember that being, you could do that as an alternative to expensive games, and even that's not really a thing anymore. You really don't have an alternative but to pay the price or to borrow the game from a friend. Yeah, I wasn't a big, believe it or not, I didn't mind donuts, but I didn't really do donuts very often. It was kind of a, I don't know, it was kind of a, but anyway, you could rent NES games back then. You rent games up until fairly recently, honestly. I guess it depends on the person and their taste. I mean, it definitely does to... Well, I mean, here's the thing. I can't tell you what is objective on that. Like, I can't tell you that you are objectively... Sash with a voucher for free donuts for pre-order. I can't tell you that what you did was stupid, because I'm not gonna say that. That's like, if you enjoy it... Is that a Nibbler down there? No, it's a Lurchin. If you enjoy the game, then that's worth it. But the problem is, I think as the prices of games go up and the quality of games kind of has flatlined or plateaued, I feel like that there's more, there are more people that are going to be less willing to pay for video games and are less willing to, try out these new video games as they come out. I think it's gonna hurt things, honestly. No, I didn't. Callisto Protocol is really cool. It's a very, very cool concept, I think. And I mean, if you had fun with it, and if you feel like that it was worth £70 for you. I don't know how exactly. I don't think it translates directly, but if for whatever reason, let's just say that it comes out to £70, right? If it was worth £70 to you, that experience was, then absolutely. How many? God dang it! How many games though at that rate? Going through them 6 hours a game. All right, let me out of the water for a minute. Going through them at a rate of 6 hours per game at $70 per game. I mean, how many games are you going to get to try? That's so for me. I wait. That's just me. I wait. If it's a game I'm super excited about, yeah, I'll get it right away. But otherwise, I probably won't buy half the games until they're substantially diminished in price, whether I have the money or not. It's probably down here. Yep. But no, I didn't. I would not call you that. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Callisto Protocols is a cool game. It's a really cool game. It's not a particularly long game. Oops, shoot. The Legend of Half Asleep Viddy, something Kingdom. Hello, hey Viddy. Hope you're doing all right. I really enjoyed your showcase, your creative process showcases. Those were really great. So I'll go ahead and say, oh yeah, I forgot you can't pick up one barrel till the other one. All right, well, it's all right. We'll just do this. Been a bit sick lately. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope everything's okay. If anybody has not checked it out, if you were a part of it, obviously you probably have, but if you weren't a part of it, you certainly should check it out. He put out a video on the creative process, figuring out what it is that motivates content creators and people to keep going, do their thing. So, and there are several great creators that gave some input. I'm also featured on there, but there are several actually great creators that out there that have given their opinions as well, which I think were really awesome. So if you haven't gotten to, it's really, really cool. We'll stay over there. I don't want to catch it. Sneeze in Australia. Anti-Pangea here. Oh, it's a cold? Okay. Well, at least it's not something super, super serious. Doesn't mean it's any more fun, though. All right, Eric. Showcase was a great, unique project. It cracked me up to the one of my favorite moments. I think I left a comment on that one because the funny when you had the mug is saying, "Oh, this. Oh, and this isn't beer," and then immediately looking at the camera sheepishly like, "I it's YouTube. I got to be safe." Well, Australia here is close to winter, so all the more reason to go to summer Europe in June. We're coming into summer, but we're getting actually a lot of rain, which is super nice. We don't normally get rain. We live in the desert. There's the patch. Stay away from my house, Fiddy. Wait, when was I talking about Hapes? I don't. Did I mention something about that? If I did, I apologize. I don't know when about it was. I better check my fused weapons and Ultra Hand. Nice. All right, heading back up here to get the boat. Normally this is an hour and a half in. Normally I would be almost done with the whole freaking game by now. But I have only gotten the first 2 worlds done because this is actually this is a ROM hack. This is called Tag Team Trouble. And this is actually really tough. I mean, I didn't think it was supposed to be a difficulty enhancement or whatever mod, but it is certainly proved thus far to be. So we go to Mechanos. Look at that. Oh! Yes, yeah. Something about talking. Yeah, so it was in the episode, I think it was episode 3, when you asked what treats were given. Yes, yeah. What way do you reward yourself? And Hapes had said something about rewarding himself with a nice drink. Yes, and then you had your, I don't have a can like Hapes did. Oh, and this isn't beer. And then you sheepishly look at the camera. I thought that was great. I thought that was really fun. It caught me off guard. Like the whole process, I was engrossed in hearing what everybody else's. Okay. I was engrossed in hearing what everybody else's takes were. But then seeing that was a really fun interlude for just a second. That cracked me up. I actually laughed out pretty loud. I was in I was listening to it on the way back from a hotel in one of my territories. Boop. Okay, come on. Those little guys are called bristles, by the way. Oh, well, this is not those guys. Those are not called bristles. I can't remember what those guys are called right now. These little guys are called bristles. Dang it. Well, let's hope the bananas don't mislead me. Something told me that was going to happen. Let's see. Mechanos, hey, I know cards. You should go check it out. Yeah, this is where I pull that from. I think you knew that, but this is where I pull it from. It's originally it's one of my favorite worlds in this, but it's also about mechanical things, and being a card mechanic is also a thing. So that's why the name. I didn't say hi to video. That's all good. Is that an accidental ad sign? One of my territories. You sound like a wrestler from the 70s. Why a wrestler? Like a mafioso maybe, but like a wrestler? What wrestler is like territories? I mean, maybe I don't know. There was no way to get out of that. Come on, bristles. Okay. There's a bonus barrel down there I'm not going to go towards, so we're just going to leave it. Well, you said a few things. Wait, you said a few minutes ago this is a ROM hack. Yes. So actual DKC3, I can usually get through in about 2 hours. 2 hours 15, maybe. I'll give you a demonstrate. I'll demonstrate here in a second the differences here. But yeah, this is a ROM hack. This is not the actual deal. I normally do a run where I will. Okay. That's okay. We still got space. So at the moment we're okay. Okay, simple enough, I suppose. Normally, I can get through this game in, like I said, maybe 2 hours. Maybe 2 hours 15. This has actually been quite a lot harder because here we are setting it around that rate. And what in the world? So that little exclamation point is supposed to be invulnerability. Period. But it wasn't. I guess it was just going to be invulnerability for the buzz, which are the bees. So I guess I'm meant to jump on the bees to get over the lava. My goodness. That's a cheap shot. It's just invulnerability. Yep. Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. 2 hours, 103. No, not 103. I think 103 takes me a little longer. 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours at. 2 hours at all through. Maybe 2 hours. Maybe not quite that, but somewhere around that neighborhood for all but Krematoa. Oh shoot. Yeah, I'll show you the difference here in a second, because we're sitting here at almost the 2-hour mark. I'll show you here in just a second the difference between level 1 here and level 1 there. But yeah, no, I wish it were 2 hours for 103. If it were 2 hours for 103, I'd be really getting close to being able to be world record territory. I wouldn't be super close. I think world record territory is like 149 or something like that. I'm not that good. But yeah, about 2 hours for 100 for everything but the Island of Krematoa. Because you can see all these, like these guys that shoot the little cheese balls at you. Are shooting at places they normally don't. We're just gonna go ahead and float around. Okay. Take Dixie here. Okay. 45 minutes for 103? Who does that? I mean, here's the thing. 103... Anybody who's not in the know, which I'm sure most of you guys are, for 103, you have to get all of the... Now, okay, hold on, wait a minute. Is that a waterfall 103? If that's a waterfall 103, I don't count that. Let me explain. So, 103, for anybody who's not familiar... okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Yep. Okay, that's fine. Invincible doesn't work on that, but whatever. That is what they wanted. So, 103 is, in every Donkey Kong Country game, you've had the option to go to above 100%. And the way that you do that is you get all of the bonus coins and all of the DK coins. In Donkey Kong Country 3, there are... there are actually two modes. You can actually go 103 and you can actually go 105. In 103, that's all DK coins, all bonus coins, and all levels passed with that, obviously. And that includes the Island of Krematoa, which has a boss fight that's pretty difficult. If you do... let me figure out what's over here real quick. I'm not that interested to risk dying. If you do 105, it's all of 103, but you are doing it with the toughest, I believe, password put in, which is only 4 spawn barrels in the entire game, and then I think it's also different enemies, more different difficulty. Well, that's right, 105 plus Banana Birds, which also include Brothers Bear Secret. Well, so 103 is also those things. You also want to have all the Brother Bears trades done and Banana Birds, because you can't get to Mama Bird without all of the Banana Birds. Boop. There we are. Yeah, the lip of the cauldrons here. Boop. Okay. And that includes, you actually have to do most of the Brother Bear sequences naturally anyway. You have to do Benny and Bjorn. They were invisible. That's not fair. Okay. You have to do Benny and Bjorn because you can't otherwise get to Barbos. You have to do blue because you need the bowling ball so that you can get into bazaars. Whoops, that's not gonna. You have to get it to. You have to get into. You need to take blues. You need to take the present to blue, so blue can give you the bowling ball to give to bazaar, and bazaar will shoot you up into that place on Mechanos to get that banana bird, which is necessary. Barnacle gives you a banana bird just for giving him the shell. I guess you don't have to do anything really with Blunder. No, Blunder's the one that gives you the present for blue, though, right? I don't know. Listen to this game. Listen to how you're talking about this game. I feel like this doesn't even exist nowadays. People don't dig into games and really complete them. There's too much choice. Oh yeah, no, I freaking love this game. The games that I love, This is what I do. I even if I'm not the world's greatest, I love them. So I agree with you completely. I still do. To be fair, I do still do this on games that I like nowadays too. So maybe it's also a personality thing, but I completely agree with you. I've been seeing more videos lately lamenting the downfall of modern gaming in contrast to, say, a quality game like DKC3. I will admit, outside of the AAA scene and no loot boxing, patches for unfinished games, etc., there are actually great games. So to say that gaming is terrible nowadays is a bit of a myth. I think there's a lot of fantastic games nowadays in AAA too, but I think it's something to be said about the good old days. I don't think to be fair, maybe the quality of games hasn't shifted, but the quality of gamer has, I think. And I think that shift has I think Witcher 3 is a fantastic... I'm going to just go ahead and skip the first knack. Oh, he's glitching out. He's throwing punches. They're all throwing punches. What the heck with that? Oh, because I guess I wasn't supposed to float over him. Oh, I'm going to miss. I didn't miss. Look at that. Okay, there are two invisible ones here, though. Okay. Not real fair, but oh well. I guess I just need to jump if I have to do that again. Okay, come on. There we are. I completed this game with roughly 45%, about 8 hours. Yes, about on my mediocrity. It was your first time playing it. I mean, that's still freaking great. That's like... 45%, just to be clear again, 45%, it just means that there were a couple of bonus barrels missed and a couple of DK coins missed. It's not, you took the meat and potatoes of the game, the levels from beginning to Chaos Core, you finished. So like, yeah, no, that's great. That's fantastic. But even still, did you have fun? If you had fun, that's what matters. So that's unbelievable. Who will you play in the movie? 45 Omega, get the rest, LOL. I mean, I'll admit some of the bonuses the game are paying to get for over 100%. Oh, yeah. Yep. Shoot. What is my least favorite bonus? I can't think of the name of it. The sprint one. The one where you have to sprint. The first level Mechanos. Not Mechanos, Krematoa. It's the sprint one where you're Ellie and you have to sprint the whole level. That one right there is frustrating because you have to pick up Parry, the parallel bird. And if you lose Parry at any point in time, then your bonus is shot. Oh, wait. I just came from here. Because Parry turns into the bonus at the end of the thing. What the heck is this? Why? Shoot. That's tough. I need 2 Kongs for that, but the freaking invisible bees, you know? Let's see. I did not have fun, LOL. I preferred 1 and 2. Oh, fair enough. 3 is actually my favorite of them. 1 is my least favorite, and 2 I think is probably most people's most favorite. But I mean, fair enough. If you didn't enjoy it, then I apologize that you didn't have that the fun experience. But at least you know now, I guess, that you don't enjoy it. Boop. Let's see. Yeah, this is like I said. I've been playing this game. I bought this game. So here was I think I may have told the story before, but so back when I'm just going to go ahead and do it with Kitty. Back when I was this was in the 90s, but I was going to actually play Donkey Kong Country 1. And I could not, for whatever reason, I got this error message with my Super Nintendo, which was saying that for some reason... Oh, okay, now they are all visible. Okay. Alright. Which gave me... The error code wouldn't allow me to play the first Donkey Kong Country. So, I ended up trading it in to someone else who did not have the first one. They had the third one. They were selling the third one for $5 anyway. And we traded it in, and we played this one. This one didn't seem to have any issue running. So, okay, iframes. Okay. Let that bazooka just have it. There we go, spawn in. Okay. Yes, the LE sprint level. You cannot die at all for that bonus. Yep, you can't die, and you can't let Parry die. It's Who invented? I have no idea. It's supposedly the most prominent one. 2 is the most favorite. Well, DKC 1 got high up in the showcase, which some people are hoping for a sequel, though. Why do you hate DKC 3, Retro? Why do you hate DKC 1? Video, why do you hate me? I don't hate DKC 1. Except for this old laptop, which I'm trial running to bring over to Europe instead of my snazzy new one. Oh, fair enough. There's Bazooka. So the reason that I don't care, I'm going to try this level, and then after that I'm going to go back. I just want to show, for anybody who is familiar with this, I want to show the differences in this versus that. I was hoping that this was not going to happen, but it is. Ah, shoot. This actually looks very... Oops, nope. Oh, no, not the Gloom hand. She's throwing hands. Boop. The DKC one is great. It has levels that I'm not keen on for, I think, fair reasons, right? I'm not a big fan of like Oil Drum Alley and such. I don't really like those at all. But Donkey Kong is, in my opinion, the worst character in his named franchise. Like, Kiddy's got way more mobility than Donkey does. But I mean, that's not fair. I actually really think Kiddy moves very well. His hitbox is big. He's definitely slow. But when you actually get him up to full speed, him and Dixie they're not actually, I believe he and Dixie are the same speed when they're at full speed. It just takes Kiddy a little longer to get there. And then the water roll bounce is actually really good. That's okay. All right. Well, hold on. I'm gonna show the thing off any which way before I end up dying. Retro, what are you streaming after this? He's pulling an all-nighter. That's not true. I've got to get back to work tomorrow. I will take a look at Kaze and the Wild Masks though, because that does seem really awesome. Hating DK, pity, hold me back. I love DK. He's just the worst character in his franchise is all. Snow levels in DKC, one of the bonuses there are just no. In fact, my best of Viddy's plays confirms it. Oh, those are rough. The barrel levels too, right? And the same situation with, this is one of the other ones that I have with 2, is the bramble levels. I have no problem with bramble levels, but the ones that have the arbitrary barrel that you have to shoot through and doesn't really give you a great sense of direction, I am not a fan of. Music is great in that game. This game doesn't really have anything so esoteric, at least by my estimation. Otherwise, DKC 1 is great. Yeah, DC, and again, I don't want it to be said that I said DKC is DKC 1's a bad game. I think it's just the weakest of the 3. That's personal preference. There are a lot of people that think that this is the weakest, and that's fine too. I like the kart roller coaster theme in DKC 3. I thought it was cool. I didn't think it was as cool as the roller coaster levels in. Let me go ahead and save as the roller coaster levels in 2, but it's, teach their own. I'll see if I can show you the video since you're familiar with this. Ash, I think you might be a little bit. I'm gonna actually trade back and forth here. DKC 2 and 3 did have better dynamic, to be sure. Yeah, 2. I think that's the reason that a lot of people like 2 the best, is because you get both of the fast Kongs. Grant Kirkhope will knock you out. DK. Why did Grant Kirkhope had nothing to do with this? That's David Wise. Yeah, I was gonna say. Not Grant. Yeah, David Wise did the music here. He's part of the Holy Trinity, right? Holy Trinity is Grant Kirkhope, David Wise, and Robin Beanland. Oh shoot, I was not paying attention. Try that again. So check this out. This is level 1. Automatically goes off. And check. Let me see if I can. I can't get back up there. This is level 1. Elton John's awesome. Road to El Dorado wasn't a great movie, but his music sure did get it there. See, I can't even water roll back there. All right, this is level 1. If I'm right, 1 is Wise and Beanland is 2. Wise 3. Wise. Nova Kovac for the... So 1 and 2 are Wise. 3 is Wise. Hold on. So 1 is Wise. 2 is Wise. 3 is Wise on the GBA, but it's Evelyn Fisher for the SNES version. Beanland did the music for Conker's Bad Fur Day. Beanland probably helped with a lot of the themes, but anyway, Beanland's the one that got Wise into it, or no, Kirkhope into it, rather. Excuse me, which is great. My rendered video keeps jerking at 2 specific points. I decided to throw hours down the drain to redo. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I am so sorry. That is frustrating. I'm sorry, man. That's rough. Yes. Yeah, no, I think he did a great job. He was the one that got Grant Kirk. He was the one that called Kirkhope up. Kirkhope had said that he was getting to the point of where he was getting through the getting through the end of his money management because he had been doing something else, and I guess Robin Beanland said, "Hey, do this," and it worked out for him really well because Grant Kirkhope, I think almost more people are available to are aware of Kirkhope than they are even Wise at this point. And he's also done, like, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning has some really great music in it, and that's Kirkhope again. So this is the first level in this ROM hack. The hitboxes are wonky too. I have hit a couple of crocs on the head, and it didn't count as on the head, so... But it isn't as bad. This isn't as bad. But I remember when I recorded an hour of Bioshock footage and had my mic on mute. Oh, I've definitely had that kind of thing happen. Well, I mean, my streams, some of my streams, the audio does act up. Luckily, I think this one's doing okay. But let's go ahead and get the coin. Okay. Getting through Son of a Gun. I can imagine. I can imagine what happened there for Beanland and Kirkhope. Yeah. Yep. What's the toughest animal you fought in Australia? For recent Luigi's Mansion 3 minigame multiplayer, I had the mic turned off nearly half the time. Oh, sheesh. Yeah. I switched over my editing programs literally for that reason. Like, I got fed up of trying to do the like there's no proper way to console somebody that's been putting hours of work into an edit and then the edit failing them or the program failing them. That's a type of rage that. So yeah, this is what these are looking like. Videos. If you're super familiar with 3, then this is what level 2 is looking like in Lakeside. Good lord. You get this really tight rope area that I'm going to abuse some iframes on. But like that's actually the direction you're meant to go. This is a barrel. If you want to get the coin, you have to hold the barrel, and then you got to figure. I don't know where. Well, shoot. I don't even know where the coin was. This version of it for certain, I don't think. I like I said, I've never played it. So this is what this looks like. I mean, you can see how long it's taking me. Just there's the coin. You had to get it all the way down there. Holy crud! No way. So you can actually see where about this. I mean, this is what this looks like. This is pretty ridiculous. Somebody said, like I said, somebody said difficulty-wise, oh, it's about the same as the actual game. This is not the same difficulty as the actual game. So, all right. So what I am going to do, I just want to demonstrate that I'm not completely incompetent. I think we're all probably... I love that, though. Maybe I don't even exist. What is life? Pass the control. I bet you would. We got to find a way to do that. That would be so cool. I think we're... Oh, actually, we could, I guess, via the Switch. I think we're all probably in a dream, subconsciously look for a blue box to wake up from it, but don't forget the Silencio Club has... Silencio Club, been the gap between dimensions. Wait, that's a lot of David Lynch. Still really cool. Ah, shoot. Overextended. Cuff and Clout show up in, like, the 3rd level or something like that, so... Alright, boop. This is pretty satisfying. Probably it'd be even more satisfying if I did a Kiddy Kong chain roll, but you know what? We're fine. Come on, Crimp. There we go. I love the fact that the Crimp have the lowest pitched screen. Happy dreams. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over. I want to show, like, you've watched me for 2 hours and a quarter fight to get through the first 2 worlds and fail on, like, the 2nd level of that. I'm going to switch over really quickly. I don't know what button it is, so I'm going to try. Is it this button? Nope. It's not that. I don't even know which button it is. I put it on new button systems, but I don't know where I put it, so we're just gonna do it this way. Oh, this is a marathon? What's the next Zelda game? That was some rough stuff. No, this isn't that. I'm going to switch over to a different ROM hack that is going to allow me some freedom to demonstrate that I am not as much garbage as I appeared just to be there. All right. Retro hates Zelda calls it. No, I didn't. KOTOR time. I did a KOTOR playthrough. It's a 10 episode and I completed it all the way through. I do have Tears of the Kingdom. I got it a day early, which was kind of cool, but I didn't play it on here because I wanted Anna to play it on her stream. So I put on this. This is a special iteration. I will pick KOTOR 2 back up, but I dropped it because a lot of people I think were having issues with the story, keeping up with the story. And I wasn't doing a great job either, so I've got to reevaluate. Yeah, Anna went ahead and gave it a start, and she says she likes it quite a bit. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if I enjoy it as well. Maybe if Retro plays a Zelda ROM hack, he'll appreciate games. I'd love to play... I want to play a Link to the Past randomizer, actually. So I may do that at some point in time. I've thought in my mind that the next 2D Zelda game should be a side-scroller like Zelda 2, but original and, of course, more balanced in difficulty. Thoughts? Or should 2D Zelda do something else? I think that would be a great idea. I'd love a 2D Zelda like Zelda 2. I don't think that the Zelda 2 difficulty is that rough. I think it's more the limitation of the system that caused it, but yeah. I've played so many hours of Tears of the Kingdom, it's insane. Very nice. Yeah, you got it a day early also, because you're a day ahead of us. So this is a ROM hack this ROM hack is just to make my life easier, I promise. It's not anything beyond that, and I'll demonstrate why. Played a bit of Super Metroid Randomizer. Gosh darn, it changes. Oh yeah, well, and that one's sequence based, so you have to. So you notice I got the motorboat, but I actually have the gyrocopter, and that's because this is a ROM hack called DKC3 Free Roam, so I can actually go straight to Mama Bird if I want. But she'll be stuck behind the wall. There are literally no... I don't have any of the banana birds. I guess that's Mina the Hollower. I want this game to exist. Link to the Past gameplay meets Castlevania. I guess that's Mina the Hollower. Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. If that is the case. I'd love to try an Ocarina of Time randomizer. That's such a good idea. I think it exists. I've just never tried it. But first, I should probably finish Master Quest. Whatever's comfortable. I mean, whatever feels good. I think there is an Ocarina of Time randomizer, though, out there. So, maybe it definitely exists. Okay, cool. Then that's freaking awesome. The Mama Bird music is so awesome. Kay's Cache. Let's see. I have to remember which one. It's not that one. Undercover, Cove, Concave. Just for the fun of it, I just want to see. Well, I guess I'd still have to have that. No, I wouldn't. Belch's Burrow. Bounty Beach. I have to remember. There's one of them, and I can't remember which. It's not this one up here. Maybe it is. Any which way. I was gonna say there's a waterfall, but anyway, this allows me basically to play the whole. This allows me to play the whole of Donkey Kong Country 3, so I can show you the difference in how quickly a world goes in the original versus, you know, check out something else. Let's see. Then again, I never got Ocarina on GameCube, so the only way for me to play Master Quest was on Ocarina 3DS. Nice. Hungry, but too lazy to make food. Guess I'm not that hungry. That gets to be the deciding factor sometimes. I think we're making steak today. Okay, so this is the actual level 1. Oh, that's going to ruin my feng shui. No, it's fine. I actually prefer to be Kitty on most of these early levels. So you can actually see, like, this level flows. I mean, this is a level 1, right? This feels like a level 1. It flows in a single direction. There's no enemies too challenging. There's no random placement. That's from beginning to end right there. Fortunately, I got sidetracked from many of my stream games, namely Kena and FF8, because life got in the way. I intend to finish my backlog when I come back from Berlin, because I've really enjoyed the current games. I was hoping to finish FF8 and do an FF retrospective before 16 comes out. That'd be awesome. Omega's ordering food for all of us. The delivery fees are going to be insane. So same situation. All of this is we're playing classic Donkey Kong Country right now. We're not actually messing with it. The only ROM hack is just the overworld accessibility. This is a ROM hack called DKC3 Free Roam, so you can actually go and play any level that you're keen on. So if I wanted to go and play Mechanos, but I didn't like Poisonous Pipelines, not Mechanos. Low-G Labyrinth, Poisonous Pipelines, and Chaos Core. It's a second to last level. Low-G Labyrinth, which is the level right before you fight Chaos. Whoops. Then I could technically skip that level if I wanted to. I actually don't mind it. I used to hate that level, but I actually don't mind it at all now. Let's see. Who's the Kong you're playing as? That's Kiddy Kong. He is Dixie's little cousin. He's a baby. They would kind of expand on him a little bit. Well, not really. They kind of replaced him at the same time with Chunky Kong in DK64. But Chunky Kong was kind of that infant, strong character, you know. Just gonna hang over here to the right where I can get the balloon. There we go. He looks broken. Yeah, he's kind of wonky, but he's good. He's a good guy. No, wait, this is Final Fantasy. Your eyes are deceiving you. I've got to get... I've got the gun blade. I know it. I don't know where even I would use a Squall reference in this. I should have roll bounce there to be faster, but oh well. But like you can see that the difference in the flow of levels is a little like this is definitely flowing a little bit better. So yeah, Kitty takes longer to get to top speed, but he is as fast as Dixie when they both hit top speed. His hitbox is bigger, but he can also jump on enemies that she can't, so it's kind of... But on water levels like this and Riverside Race, he's the best because that roll bounce is incredibly valuable. This bonus is one of those frustrating early bonuses to get to. If you don't have the roll bounce down, like I just screwed up there, you can't do it again. You have to hurt yourself and then start the level over. That's okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Who are all these Kongs in relation to DK? Dixie is... I believe Dixie's just... So, hold on. So, Diddy is a... I think Diddy's a cousin. Dixie is Diddy's girlfriend. Dixie's cousin is Kitty. Wrinkly is the grandmother of Donkey. Cranky is the grandfather of Donkey. Because he's anyway, it's a lot of that. We'll have Tiny, Lanky, and Chunky. But well, yeah, he's a good guy. Poor Kitty is so gosh darn derp. He is. He's great though. He plays well. I think he does. At least he plays well for me. With emo hair, conky dong. Forgot the O. Not 100% run. I'm so disappointed. I did forget the O. I'm trying to rush through it, but you're right. But you can see how much more quickly the normal levels go than that, I mean, this, to be fair too, I mean, not, firstly to critique my own playing, it's much, much more difficult. And I definitely died several times. To my credit, I do feel like that these levels being made by Rare do flow a lot better than the other ones. Because you saw that first level had all those broken piers. That's I mean, maybe that was the idea. Maybe everybody's gotten into such a sense of flow that the thing that the makers said is, well, let's make it so it doesn't flow as well, and then all of a sudden they will crash and burn. Which I almost certainly did. That's fine. We'll just go underneath. Knack, knack. His tail will catch you. It's actually part of the hurt box, so. Okay, hitbox, I mean. Did you guys ever play Clay Fighters? Yes, I have Clay Fighters for the 64, in fact. So if a war breaks out on DK Island, great Game of Thrones style. I've never heard of CF, never played it. Snow here, must be Winterfell. Guys, I have an important serious question. Who would win in a fight to the death? DK or Banjo? I reckon DK would smash it. If Banjo uses Kazooie, I think, yeah. If Banjo uses Kazooie, then yeah, it's going to be Banjo. If it's just Banjo versus Kazooie, DK's huge. I mean, sorry, if it's just Banjo versus DK, DK's huge. I mean, I guess if you're asking who would win between a gorilla and a bear. Yeah, Clay Fighter 64 is funny. Or it's fun, rather. If you're asking who would win between like a giant gorilla and a bear, that's really kind of a toss-up. It depends on some circumstances. Let's see if we can get it in 2. 2's the optimal cycle for Belcha. So 1, and then he has 1 more that you have to get. If you miss it, then... Yep, there it is. There's 2. That fight can be settled in Super Smash'ems now? That's awesome. I had to take a look at that. That's really cool. Let's see, the first world there, that's the first world done in what? A couple minutes? 10 minutes maybe? Tops? Oh man, I'm back in 88. I ran into both gorilla and bear at the same time in Spain. Won that fight easily. Not a lot of people know that. I didn't know that there were a lot of bears and gorillas in Spain, honestly. Didn't even have to do with whether you ran into them or not. I just didn't know there were a lot of bears and gorillas in Spain. I might as well play Smash right now and have DK versus Banjo CPU, but Tears of the Kingdom has taken over my life. That's fair. I said Anna seems to like it a lot, so maybe there's something to it that the other one didn't. I like that was the thing. I don't hate. I've said this before too, and I think Ash is on the same page. Perhaps at least similar. We're in similar books, if not on the same page. Is Breath of the Wild's fine. It's just nothing special. It doesn't do anything revolutionary. There were games that came out a year or two prior that I think did most of what was done in Tears of the Kingdom, or not Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, quite a lot better. Retro and I both love. No, Spanish bears are a nightmare. Romantic bears. Yeah, I know. That's exactly my point. You're spot. I guess we are on the same page because that's my argument. Is Breath of the Wild isn't a bad game. It's just there are other games that did the same things that Breath of the Wild is proposed to have done, but even better in some instances. I go to The Witcher for a lot of it, but I honestly do feel like that's probably the case. If I had to pick a good, there we go. If I had to pick a good apples, or more apples to apples, I think, for Breath of the Wild, I'd say Just Cause. Being able to just float around and do whatever you wanted to do in that kind of matches the Hang Glider pretty darn well, and the open worldness of that, the destructiveness, the puzzles and all that good stuff. I mean, not bad. I shouldn't have hung up there that long. That's okay. I missed that jump by just a hair. There we go. Let's see. Well, Breath of the Wild was amazing. Now it seems like a tech demo. Tears of the Kingdom, however, is crazy in the best way possible. And that's what Anna said, too. You can ride bears in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not sure if the game has Spanish bears, though. Me and my mate Steve were riding bears last year in Scotland. Rest in peace, Steve. That's funny. Confession about my history with The Witcher. I've played a tiny bit of Witcher 1, and I've read all of the first short story book, and I'm currently reading the next short story book, and the main novel. Okay, so you've read The Last Wish, and you're reading... Oh, shoot, what is the other short story one out of that? There's 9 total books when it comes to... There are 9 total books when it comes to The Witcher, and they're all pretty good. Witcher 1 was really fun and held mostly to the books. It actually follows that main story deviation. That main deviation from the main story, good lord. In The Last Wish with the princess that's held in the crypt, the one that's been transformed. And then 2 does a really good job of just adding a lot of complicated stuff, but in my opinion, it was only done well for PC. If you had a mouse, then it was really well done, but if not, then it was kind of tiny. Witcher 3 took the best of both of those, in my opinion, and really just expanded on them. The stories definitely pay homage to the book. The gameplay is top tier, but it's not... Nope, rope. But at the same time, it's a fresh idea altogether. And I love the fact that you don't have to grind. Like, I remember having issues with Blood and Wine, the boss fight. I didn't have to grind to fix that problem. I just needed to reevaluate what weaponry I was using. I went and read in my bestiary. It's the first game I've ever gotten to do this, and it had the level of efficacy. I read in the bestiary what the weaknesses were, and then geared up with those weapons. Oiled my blade with those with what I needed, and picked up, I think, Grape Shot was what I needed, and it was perfect. A game that basically set specific rules, but then also held true to them. I'm not a big fan of Witcher 3. I know that. No, that's fine. If you don't like, I mean, there are games that the thing about it is the difference of the biggest thing that dies in any community these days is the ability to have a difference of opinion. That there's nothing dying more rapidly, in my opinion, than that. Let's see. Okay. I think the thing that's dying most rapidly in the gaming circles, really in a lot of communities right now, gaming, video, whatever it might be, is the ability to have a respectable and respectful disagreement. Like, I think Witcher 3 is one of the best games that has been made. Ash doesn't care for it. That's okay. I'm not mad at Ash because a game I like isn't on his top 10 list. But that's not a common thing to find nowadays, especially on sites like Twitter and whatever other site. I don't know. I don't really use Twitter all that much, and I don't know much about any of the other social networks. Anna does more of the social network stuff than I do. I don't know much about it. I mean, I know what it is. I'm not like some 70-year-old who's like, I don't understand how to operate a phone. I get that, but like, it's just I don't understand how usable it is for practical purpose. 3 up. Let's try this again. Hang on, I'll check my bookshelf. I'll take Sword of Destiny is yes, okay. After Last Wish, Bella de Vel's first name. Yes, yeah. Well, Witcher 3 does look cool. It's probably my style of game, but again, it has to be a time commitment for me. In fact, it looks longer than Tears. It is. Just the DLC is like 30 hours. Hearts of Stone, and just the DLC is 20, 30 hours, depending. So the main story is, I think, somewhere closer to about 60. So yeah. Quite a few social media posts do say Witcher 3 considered a great game. I don't get it, and that's absolutely fine. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have any issue with that. Do you like Breath of the Wild because they're Zelda, or because the reason I ask is I recommend Immortals Phoenix. Immortals Phoenix Rising is really cool, actually. Both Zelda and the style, both games' styles have really positively affected me. Also, Tears of the Kingdom feels like a better balance of old and new. Yeah, once my channel launches Monday, I'll be using Twitter. I'll only be using Twitter for updates. I've heard good things. See, yeah. Witcher 3 is considered to be, yeah, I think rightly so, but like I said, other people will disagree, and that's okay too. I think my reasoning behind it is I think it does everything in its time. I think it took everything that was being done innovatively, and everything that was being done innovatively, perfected it, and then added balance, which was, for me, the balance was it had great story, and it was willing to not take itself too seriously. I'm not going to get the parrot. But again, personal opinion. Ah, shoot. God dang it, Dixie. There we go. You can actually drop in between him because the hitbox is not the hitbox is not on the let's just, for the fun of it, let's do this. I want to see. I think this goes down. Oh, it didn't let me. Oh well. Anyway. Is in the top I don't want to do this bonus. Is in the top 5. Yeah, it's super good. Storytelling is really good. Yeah, I agree. I think it's great. All right, let's do this. And I think after this, after this level, I'll probably call it. I'll call it a stream. I think we've been going for 2 and a bit hours. I think that's plenty for now. I just kind of get reacclimated. I'm gonna cook, and I'm also sure that Anna's getting hungry, and I'm sure I am, and I'm cooking steaks. So. Because I am mostly carnivorous, and that sounded good. Okay. Biggest issue I had in The Witcher 3 with the combat and most of the voice performances. I thought the combat felt really nice and fluid, but I understand where there were some hang-ups, so you'd get involved in a long move, and then all of a sudden now you can't do this other shorter move that you needed to, you couldn't pivot. I agree with that. If that's the kind of hang up you had, obviously, then I would agree with that. Voice performances I thought were actually pretty good. Especially Dave Cockle, which is the performance of Geralt. And Dijkstra actually sounded really good in that too. I was convinced. I mean, I legitimately despised him. And he's not even, I mean, he's not even a real person. Boop. There's the level. Let's see. I admit, though, Witcher 3 have not even played. Probably did one of the best things overall, regardless whether they like it. It made for open world games being a popular default. GTA 3 kind of did that, but I understand your point. Witcher 3, I think Witcher 3. GTA did a great job of it, and Witcher did a great job of it for different audiences. I think Witcher did a great audience. I think Witcher does a good job of it for people that were starting to get into the fantasy era, because it took everything that Oblivion and Skyrim did and does them even better, I think. But I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom. What do you expect? Tears of the Kingdom is great, but at the same time, Ocarina is still my fave because it's open but not completely open. Maybe Witcher 3 is modern landscape over GTA 3 and past gen. Yeah. Skyrim was a big one too, but I think Skyrim, and I think a lot of people agree on this retroactively, agreed on this, that Skyrim didn't surpass Oblivion in its level of quality. And I stand by that too. GTA 3 changed the industry, suddenly everything tried to be edgy, every character performance had a gun and a yeah, I agree. There's definitely a lot of influence from the Grand Theft Auto series. GTA 3 was huge on that. San Andreas did a big, thing on it too, But anyway, I think, guys, I'm going to go ahead and try to get everything situated so that I can cook some dinner. Had a fun, quick stream on here. Got to show off a ROM hack. I don't know if the ROM hack's for me, but I might try to keep going at it. It's just depending. It is ridiculously difficult, so if anyone does decide to try it out, it is called Tag Team Trouble. I might go ahead and put it in the description, but ultimately, I do think that I prefer the regular version of it, so... GTA 3, also I've noticed some, let's see. I've noticed that almost every non-RPG game has to have leveling up skill trees or something. That's true. That's true. But, had a good day, night, guys. Or whatever it is. Bye! Yeah, everybody have a wonderful, great, for us over here in America, it's Memorial Day, so I hope you all have a wonderful Memorial Day, and of course, if you had anyone that was impacted directly by that, I hope that we offer the appropriate... Oh, no worries. We offer appropriate reverences to them and understand that obviously we will be in our own way doing much the same. For those of you who are not celebrating the Memorial Day, luckily that means hopefully that there hasn't been a lot of direct loss to you, but obviously I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night. Ash, I know it's probably closer to night for you, and Viddy probably... I don't actually know what it is for you. I can never keep track of yours because yours is so much farther ahead. But I hope you guys all do have a wonderful time. I want to say thank you so very much for Ash and Viddy and Omega dropping in and saying hi and talking with me, keeping me company. And hopefully I got to keep you guys some company too. It's always wonderful to get to talk with you guys. And like I said, it's morning. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. But I just hope you guys all have a wonderful time. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Monday, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you shortly. As the week is short for me, so hopefully I'll be streaming at my normal time on Sunday. Maybe Anna will hopefully come in and we'll stream with her too. Otherwise, I do want to say thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys soon.